that's a good analogy that she saw of the eclipse. In other words, the sun represents, like people that are in love or romance, they look to the moon as like an emotional experience. It's like, oh, the moon is beautiful, and and there's many songs with the moon in them, etc. But the moon is a steel spaceship. This is what people don't realize. It's not even a planet. It's not even a rock. It's a steel spaceship. That's why you only see one side, and the other side is military. And so the eclipse being, represented there with Harold and Eckankar, has blocked the sun. There's still some light there. There's still some information available. Just like an eclipse, you have some light left there, secondary light. But the main part is blocked out by this emotional attachment and taplining that has occurred since Paul first did the first step of presenting this, because it's a huge journey. And so he had to do the first step. He needed the first step. And whatever happens from that is okay. So what has taken place with Harold and Eckankar and Darwin and all that since up to now, it's all okay, because it too is a reference, okay? Because everything is like clumped together. It's like, oh, this is spiritual path, this is spiritual path, and it's all good stuff. Well, you see that when you look at these things, no, they're not good. They're not useful at all. And the part with the arch where I'm there and then Harold's and whatever, well, that's the entrance or the portal that those people want to go to. So they have the opportunity to wake up, but that's a big decision. So yes, it's very, very good as to what's being shown, and the moon representing what Harold's doing with Joni, because she's the one controlling the whole scene in the background. But, and so we take this as a reference as to what not to do. So it's very, very good in that means of defining that, and you seeing it and others too. You got to see what not to do, because the things of the earth are just created stuff. Again, the sun shining, do the birds do it? They don't do any of this, do they? They don't do any of this silly foo-foo stuff, etc. And when mama bird, lays eggs and creates other birdies, at a certain point she kicks them out of the nest. It's like, get out of here, go fly. But people don't do that. They stay all cuddled, attached, weird, with strange ideas, etc., and keep going through suffering. You keep suffering, looking for that next good time. And it's understandable. You need the right information. You need the real references. And so finally they're here. But it's a choice, and it's a choice every moment. And you have a lot of decisions to make ongoing, not just one. It's like, oh, I like this. No, every moment you have to learn to see and recognize those references and make the decision. Are you going to keep going? Are you going to figure it out? You're going to be creative. You're going to be like the sun shining. You're going to help others. A lot of decisions to be made, a whole lot. Yeah, it's a lot for each of us, each lifetime. It's a whole lot more than we can consider. Again, that literalization needs really to be looked at as to how we've been brought up. You look at the indigenous people, they didn't collect information and knowledge created by others. They created experience, and they had experience with their environment. That's where they gained their experience. Today, people, their basic experience is watching TV and listening to political and religious speeches, just a bunch of words. And so taking these words into consideration that this is some kind of reality. So this is where things are distorted. So again, look at the birds. They just tweet to each other, whether they understand it or not. According to their little mind body, it's not important, but they just go along and naturally do what they do, you see? So there's a very good reference there, but who looks at that? So the society has created the ideas that, oh, gee, we can think, we can create, we can do all this stuff. Gee, we're smart, okay? And we can figure out what life is, and You know, we can do better. And so this is the nonsense we're living in. So this really has to be looked at, and this is the big challenge. And it is a challenge. And so that is what you have to decide. You have to decide that you want the challenge. And this is what many don't. They go into these different systems, religion, meditation, whatever, because they want to be passive. They don't want the challenge. They want to just do nothing, just sit and meditate and, oh, everything's cool and peaceful. Well, it's not about that. And at the time Paul was here, referring to the truth idea, he stated that peace is not truth. Okay, so again, he gave the little hints. And the isness too was only maybe a half a page in one of the books where he referred to this, but people weren't ready because it's too vast. And still, it is way too vast. So it is confronting that personal self and learning to see what creation really is. And this is why so many people come and go, because they gain something here, and they like being the know-it-alls. And it's not about that. It's totally indifferent to that, to something you cannot consider. So again, they will leave also. It's like, well, this doesn't exist. You know, what you're talking about doesn't exist. And so again, there's the challenge to see what's real now. Yeah, that's the fun part.